Spend the day with me in Richmond, Virginia. I was in Virginia visiting my sister and we decided to take a day trip to Richmond. This is my second time in Richmond and I actually really love this city. It has a lot of history, but it also has a very cool punk energy to it, which I very much enjoy. There are a ton of historical row houses, some of them dating back to the Victorian era. Our first stop was Lamplighter for breakfast and coffee. Their food and drinks are really good, but they also have this community board where you can pay for someone else's meal in advance, and people who maybe don't have the money for a meal can come in and see if there are any meals that have been prepaid. So it's sort of like a way to pay it forward, I guess. After getting sufficiently caffeinated, we walked over to the VMFA, which is the Museum of Fine Art. The grounds are just absolutely beautiful. I love these glass reeds. The museum is free to enter, but their special rotating exhibits are ticketed, so we paid $12 to get into this one, which is about the Mughals of India. So 1526 to 1857 is when all of this art was from. I was blown away by this exhibit. First, we have a ton of watercolor paintings. Most of these are from a book that one of the Mughals had commissioned to tell the story of their family and sort of their divine right to rule. Then we have the spoon, the shape of which at the time was very European, like it was just directly inspired by European flatware designs. The jewels inlaid in the gold, though, was a specifically Indian art technique, and the floral pattern that they're inlaid in is Iranian. So this one specific spoon is sort of a blending of 3 different art styles and 3 different cultures, which is just so cool. Next, we headed upstairs and checked out an exhibit about George Washington featuring 2 different artists. First, we have these oil paintings commissioned on the 100th anniversary of George Washington's death. They're very stately and sort of serve a myth-making purpose similar to the watercolor paintings in the Mughal exhibit. Then we have works created by Titus Kaphar in the 2010s. The canvas strips nailed to George Washington's face in this piece of art contain the words of his will, in which he stated that upon the death of his wife, all of his slaves should be freed. It's a very uncomfortable piece of art to look at, like just the nails covering up his mouth and almost suffocating him. Kaphar also did this portrait of George Washington's chef who self-emancipated and ran away from his household in order to be free. This is of course a normal looking oil painting except for his face, which is composed from tar. I could talk about this exhibit for hours. It was so moving and powerful. I'd highly recommend going. After that, we drove over to Carytown, which is a shopping district in the city. It's also very historical. We went in a couple of thrift stores and then walked over to the Jasper to get dinner and drinks because all of us were getting a little hangry at this point. This place rocked. They had a whole special menu for Pride Month. The drinks were really good. The food was really good. And we walked over to a record store. Olivia was debating between 3 different records. She ended up going with that iconic Born to Die record. And then her boyfriend Alex also got Magdalena Bay. And our final stop of the evening was Bev's for ice cream. This is just like a very classic ice cream shop. Then we headed back home. I really loved everything we did, and I definitely recommend them all if you're ever in the area.